Hi everyone. We are blessed to have Swamiji with us today. And we have Brahmacharya Adyanand. He's looking after a very special school in Ranchi. And he's guiding the other schools by Paramahamsa Yogananda, Guruji, all over India. Now, Swamiji is very simply called Swamiji. Everybody's heart, and the moment you hear him talking, then you will know why. He steals everybody's heart. So you be careful, your heart will be stolen today. Yeah? Now remember, we always spoken about that when you cut an apple, you can count how many seeds are there. Correct? But can you count how many apples are in one seed? Infinite, isn't it, Bunny? No limit. Infinite possibility, correct? That one seed is you. And you have that potential. Now with this, I would request Swamiji to address something which often bothers you. I will request Swamiji to talk about Swamiji. Maybe, I know when I talk to you about telling truth, having faith in God and having faith in yourself. Many of you say no. Can you show me God? Remember? I'll ask Swamiji first to say, often you say no when mommy punishes you or fires you and you say, why me? No? You say, look at that guy, he's got so much. Why not me? You often say that, no? I will request Swamiji. Swamiji is very special. By the way, he's a gold medalist in India before he took over sannyas. He has done his PhD from IIT Kharagpur, and there is very specializations from Canada, and they renounced the whole world. He realized there is one truth. I would request Swamiji to talk to you. Okay? Swamiji.
Dear divine Atmans, divine souls, probably you would not know how joyful I am today. Because coming to any education institution, especially one like this, is like homecoming for me. The reason is, all my life, before I joined the ashram as a sannyasi, was spent in schools and colleges. Either as a student, later as a research scholar, then as a professor. Almost all my life was spent in schools and colleges. Then I left teaching profession and joined the ashram. So coming to a school means it's really homecoming. This is where I spent all my time. And it's really, I'm overwhelmed today. Normally I go to places to speak and to teach the importance of meditation, life, goal of life, how to approach life, life's experiences. But after seeing this school, I am here to learn than to teach. There's so much for me to learn. There's so much. I'm amazed at all that's happening here. You are all really lucky to be in such an environment. You are really lucky to be in such an environment. Learning is a pleasure. So with so much joy, you are fortunate. I have one question. Who is your best friend? Each individual can ask, who is your best friend? Can anyone answer? Get up and answer. Who is your best friend?
Who is Vani's best friend?
Who is your best friend? Let me tell you. The best friend for you is your mother, father, and your teacher. It took a while for me to understand this. Because your teacher, your father, mother, they have only one thing in their mind when they interact with you: your welfare, your future. They have nothing else. I can also tell you, I would confess in a way that if only I have followed all the advice given by my mother, I would have been a better person than what I am now. Sometimes I didn't follow. For instance, I'll just give you an example. When I was growing up, I used to do a little bit of hard brushing, while brushing my teeth. My mother would say, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I would change my toothbrush very often, every 15 days. She used to scold me. I was only thinking she wants to save money. That's why she doesn't want me to brush properly. But now, because I did not follow her advice, I am paying. My teeth got worn out very quickly. That much a hard brushing wasn't required. It should not be there. Because her intention is my health. Same thing, your mother, father, teacher, they are your best friends. Sometimes they may give some unpalatable advice, not so interesting, but eventually that's going to work in your favor. The way I used to sleep, I used to slouch like that. My mother used to scold me, and I will think, why she is behind me? Like that, you always think that the advice coming from your teacher, father, mother, take it seriously. Because they have your welfare in their mind. Okay. Then that Ghosh asked me to touch on two subjects. One is, why me? Sometimes we are in trouble. We think, why me? Other one is about God. The first one is, okay, why me? When that question comes, when we are in trouble, when we are in difficulty, we say, why me? Isn't it true? Why me for this disease? Why me for this deprivation? Why me for this denial? Why I am being denied this? Isn't it true? When others are having it, why me I am being denied? Next time, when this question comes to your mind, why me? You counter it by two questions. There are two questions you need to ask. First question is, why not me? Why not me for this deprivation? Why not me for this trouble? You have to ask that. The reason is this: am I such an intelligent person? I am such a good person that I never break the rules of health? Do I eat always the right food? Do I always exercise? I don't, Sometimes I break the rules of health rules, diet rules I break. Because I break, I get into problems also. Am I such an intelligent person that I never hurt others? Sometimes I say something, I do something which hurts someone else. Knowingly, unknowingly, I am hurting now and then. Isn't it true? So when I hurt, then if someone else hurts me, why not me? In the society it happens. It happens. Why not me for the denials? Why not me for this little ill health? So don't question anyone. Say that because of him, because of her, because of God, I am going through this difficulty. No, why not me? We are also human beings. We go through difficulties. That's one thing. There is one more thing you have to ask. Why me? See, for all of us, human beings, there are some essential things: food, clothing, shelter, education. Don't you think these are essential? No, these are essential. Say now we are sitting here, it's around 12 o'clock. Afterwards, we are very sure of our lunch. Isn't it true? We are very sure. We don't have to worry about food. We are very sure of our food. We don't think. It's only a question of what to eat, not whether to eat or not. We are always assured. Not only today, lunch. We also are assured of our dinner. We'll get dinner in the house or somewhere. Tomorrow also we'll get our food. That means we are not concerned about our food because we are assured, we are guaranteed of our food. Do you agree? We are never worried about our food. It is there. Do you know? Out there are millions of people who are not sure of their next meal because of poverty. Do you know that? There are so many people who are not very sure of their next meal. But now I am not worried about my meal at all. Not only next meal, probably for the rest of the life, I am not worried about my food. Why me, God? Why me for this facility? I don't have to worry about this basic, essential need. There are millions are suffering. Did you ever ask that? No, I take it for granted. Why me? Similarly, clothing is very essential. I have summer clothes, winter clothes, party clothes, casuals, informals, I have wear. Question is what to wear. There is no question of clothing. Millions are there who do not have proper clothing. In winter, they are shivering. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that? Why me, Lord? In this life, I don't have to worry about clothing anymore. Did you ever stop and contemplate? No. Education is essential. I had some good education in this life. That is because I had access to good schools in my childhood. My parents educated me. Parents. It's not that I am such an intelligent person that I could get the education on my own. There are much more intelligent people out there in villages having no access to education. Not that they are not any less intelligent than I am. Why me, Lord, for this facility? Why me? Did you ever contemplate? So be grateful for what you have. Even if you are denied of something, little here, little, some denial is there, deprivation is there. Be happy with what you have, because we have much more than what other people have. So why me? Don't entertain that question. Don't go into any guilt consciousness or inferiority complex. Why me for this? Why me? I don't have good grades. Why I don't have good possessions, etc. There are people who have much less. That is one thing. See, this was explained very nicely by Arthur Ashe. Do you know Arthur Ashe? Who is Arthur Ashe? Probably he is the first black Wimbledon champion. Wimbledon tennis, one of the coveted trophies in the world. Wimbledon tennis. And Arthur Ashe, in American, he was the first black world champion. He was a very, very good person. He got trophies in Wimbledon. Late towards the end of his life, he was dying of cancer. Cancer got hold of him. He was going through that pain, and then millions of people all around the world wrote letters to him. Fans expressing their sympathy. One letter read, "Why does God have to choose you for this bad disease?" Out of sympathy, Why does God have to choose you for this bad cancer disease? For that, with deep understanding, Arthur Ashe replied like this: the world over, 50 million children start playing tennis. The world over, 50 million children would like to play tennis. Out of 50 million, 10%, only 5 people learn tennis. Others are, they just don't have, they have intention, but they don't have facilities. Only 5 million start learning tennis. Out of 5 million, 10%, that is 0.5 million. That is 5 lakh children come to play at school level. Out of 5 lakh, 10%, that's 50,000 children go to sub-Q, that means a higher level of professional tennis. Out of this 5,000, 50,000, 5,000 will go to Grand Slams. Out of them, only 50 people play Wimbledon. Wimbledon, do you know? Most, that very coveted tennis tournament. So only 50 people are permitted to go to that tennis Wimbledon championship. Out of 50 who start playing in Wimbledon with all dignity and expectation, only 4 go to semi-finals. Do you agree that?
Yes, sir.
Out of 4, only 2 go to finals. Then he said, and after playing tennis, when I lifted the trophy, I did not ask God, why me? No, starting from 50 million children, he became one. I did not ask God, why me? Now, when I am in difficulty with this disease, I can't ask, why me? Meaning, we should be grateful to what we have. See, you are all sitting here in a very good environment, in an elite school, with so many facilities to learn and grow. So we should be so grateful. Just in case, if you have something is lacking for you, something you are missing, don't ask the question, why this is missing, why don't I have? But you, as it is, you are so fortunate, you have so many things in life. So it is alright if you don't have that little one or this little something here. We are so fortunate. And this is what Arthur Ashe, a sports man, told eventually. If I cannot ask God, why me, for my victories, I have no right to ask God, why me, for my defeats. Did you get the point? So let us ask God, why me, for all these facilities. Then you will be able to face what is lacking also with dignity. Because we have so much to be happy about and so little to be worried about or deprived. So that's what, one question. Why me? Never be disappointed if you are not having something in life. Second question is, what is God? Now God is a word, a concept. Is a word we have been hearing from childhood, or a concept we are asked to believe. Isn't it true? But for me, there are many definitions, many descriptions of God. God can be described in many ways. They are all okay, in their own right, they are all right. But to me personally, the definition of God I like most is this. God is Sachidanand. God is Sachidanand. Did you ever hear this word Sachidanand? You must have heard about this. We name our children also Sachidanand. Do you agree? But what is the meaning of Sachidanand? I will explain that. If you understand this, you will understand your own true nature. Joy. Sachidanand is this. Satchitanand. So now I don't know anything about God. I have no clue whether God is he or she or it. No? If God is someone like God, can that someone be sorrowful? Can that someone be sorrowful? No, God is joy. And if there is someone like God, God has to be joyful. So let's start with that assumption, God is joy. But to say God is joy is a gross understatement. God is not simple joy. Because joy is not something unknown to you, unknown to me. When I take a mango, I am joyful. No? When I take a second mango, I am further joyful. But third mango doesn't give me same joy. Fourth, I don't want to take. Fifth mango, I will hit the person who gives me. Isn't it true? Because the theory of diminishing returns, theory, marginal utility, that the interest goes down. This is applicable not only to mangoes, to everything in this creation, every item. You know, initially it's interesting, little more interesting, and then slowly it goes down. But this is not applicable to God. God contact, when you contact God within, that is always ever new. That doesn't fade. That doesn't go stale. That you have to understand. God is ever new joy. God is Nitya Naveen Anand. Ever new. Ever new means always fresh. That is God. Not only God is ever new, God is ever conscious of his ever new joy. He is ever aware. He is not only joyful, he is aware of that joy. You know awareness? To be conscious. That consciousness means chit. In Sanskrit, consciousness word is chit. God is Chitanand. Ever conscious, ever new joy. Not only that, see, God may be ever conscious of his ever new joy, but what good it is if it exists for a little while and gone. See, for me, I can relate to things between my birth and death. You know, whatever happens here, I can relate. But God is. God was. And God will be. God is ever existing. God is ever existing. What is ever existing? Truth. Truth is ever existing. Sat. God is ever existing, ever conscious, ever new joy. Sat, Chit, Anand. That's the meaning of Satchidanand. Ever existing, ever conscious, ever new joy. But I won't stop here. My definition of God is this. God is Satchidanand and Aham Brahmasmi. Did you hear the statement Aham Brahmasmi? Aham means what? In Sanskrit, Aham means I. Aham means I. Brahmasmi means I am God, Brahman. I am God means potentially I am ever existing, ever conscious, ever new bliss. Not only me, you. This is not my statement. Scriptural statement. All saints proclaim that. All religions say that. We are all part of the divinity. That potential is in you. Ever existing, ever conscious, ever new joy. It is there in you. As much it is in me, in her and in him. We are all there. So that God is not anywhere. God is there right within. Right within. So if you have faith, if you have the connection, the thinking, if you keep thinking, right within here, so God listens. God is not far. So that is the message I would like to share with you. You are all such bright faces, young, energetic, enthusiastic, bright faces. It is reflecting God's presence in you. God's presence, that's what I see. I told you, I was so joyous to come here, to see all your faces. God, just God reflecting. So, Dr. Ghosh also said that you have the potential in you, to achieve anything and everything in this world. That's because God is in you. It's not just, He is just encouraging you. He is mentioning the truth. That's the highest truth. God has everything. God is all powerful. You are all powerful. Because you are a part of that divinity. So this is the message I would like to share with you. Now, if you have any questions, I will try to address. Rather than monologue going on talking what I feel like. If you have any questions, please ask me. I will be happy to address.
bit shy. Someone? Earlier?
About anything, please feel. Yes.
So Dr. Ghosh keeps mentioning about this. That if you want to experience God, you need to be truthful. So how I can personally, if I want to feel, as you said that you will be joyful about the presence of God. So how, if I want to personally feel the existence of God within me, what are the steps I should take that I start feeling it, that joy within me? What should I practice in my daily life or something that gives me that joy?
Do you understand the question? Eventually, idea is, how do I, if God is in me, in a way I am God. Not in a sense of arrogance. It's not in a sense of arrogance. We are all different expressions of the same divinity. God is in me. If I want to experience God, that means I have to become God. Now tell me, what are the qualities of God? What are some of the qualities of God are? Love. God must be full of love. Joy. Wisdom. Forgiveness. Compassion. Even-mindedness. These are the qualities of God. These are the qualities of God. Love, joy, wisdom, forgiveness, compassion, even-mindedness. All these are qualities of God. Now I am God potentially. Now tell me the question. Answer this question. Do I become God? No. Do I get this? Aham Brahmasmi. I am God. If I am God, I should have all these qualities. I should have love, joy, wisdom, human-mindedness, compassion, servicefulness. All this I should have. But if I see dispassionately, I don't have all these qualities in full measure. I don't have the full measures. Now the question is, do I get these beautiful qualities when I become God, or I become God when I get these qualities, when I cultivate these qualities? Did you understand the question? Do I get these beautiful qualities of love, joy, even-mindedness, servicefulness, forgiveness? Do I get these qualities when I become God, or I become God when I cultivate these qualities? Did you get the answer? Did you get the question first? That is, as human beings, we have to cultivate these qualities. We have to express these qualities of love, of truth, of joy, wisdom, compassion, servicefulness, even-mindedness, forgiveness. We have to express these qualities. When we are expressing these qualities, means we are expressing God, and thereby we experience God within. Does that answer it? That's why that Robin Ghosh has been telling, be truthful. Now that's one of the statements he makes often. Be truthful. Because being truthfulness is quality of God. And you want to become God one day, you have to be truthful from now on. No, we have to be joyful, we have to be truthful, we have to be loving, we have to be compassionate, we have to be helpful to others. That means we are expressing God in this life. Thereby we will become God one day. We experience God with it. Yoga meditation also helps us. Yoga meditation takes us away from external environment, slowly inside, within, where God is. We can experience God. Yoga meditation and behavior and yoga meditation. Yes.
Sir, if I may ask, with all due respect, sir, what makes you believe in God? because I've asked many people the same question, and all the same reply I've got saying everybody believes in God, so I do the same.
Yes. Okay, let me tell you, because you asked a very personal question, what makes you to believe in God? That's your question.
Yes, sir.
Then what makes me to believe in God? It's very simple. When I was studying, doing research for my PhD, I wanted to start meditating. I approached someone and asked, please teach me how to meditate. And that person immediately asked one question, why do you want to meditate? I said, I heard that meditation improves one's concentration. I need more concentration in my studies. Don't you want that? We all want to be more concentrated when we are studying. I was also studying, doing research. I want better concentration in my studies. I want to improve my concentration. Hence, I want to meditate. Then he said, yes, meditation definitely improves your concentration, but you have to give 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening for meditation. 20 minutes. I said, no, see, even before that, when I asked for meditate, why you want to meditate, I did not say it's for God. It's not because I believed in God. Meditation is only for my concentration, very simple. God, see, I don't believe it strongly, but God, the concept is there. Having born in this country, we have some concept of God, But God is there for festivals. Special food, this, that, and activities. God is there for children before examinations. God is there for elderly before going to hospitals. That's the role I gave to God earlier. God is there, but not a believe in God or seeking God like that. God is there, okay. For meditation, I did not start for God. I started only for my concentration. That's fine. Then he said 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. If I knew that pretty soon I would be spending longer than 20 minutes in meditation, I would have never started meditation in this life. Because 20 minutes, more than that is difficult. I was so busy with my research. Okay. Then I learned a meditation technique known as Hangsa technique of concentration. Generally I am focused in life. If I take up something, I take it quite seriously, sincerely. So very sincerely I was meditating. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. Very sincerely, day after day after day, morning, evening, 20 minutes, that's all. Then pretty soon, by personal experience, without a doubt, I was convinced of the existence of inner joy and the possibility of contacting that joy on a regular basis. You see the point? I was just meditating to improve my concentration. That's all. Morning and evening. When I did it sincerely, day after regularly, just after some time, I was convinced of the existence of inner joy. There is something like joy inside. Earlier, joy, for me to be joyful, I have to meet a nice person, or I have to eat something, or I have to hear some good news. Something should happen for me to be joy. But here, first time in life, for me, nothing need to happen outside. There is something like inner joy I can be. And that inner joy I can touch with meditation. That's what happened. Day after day after day I was enjoying that inner joy, meditating. Later, I read books like Autobiography of Yogi, other books. Then I found that inner joy is nothing but God. God is joy. For me, God is not a person sitting there with 4 heads and 8 hands sitting on a throne. If someone sees God like that, it's okay. I have no issues. Someone may see it also, perfectly okay. But for me, it's not that. For me, that God is joy, Satchidananda. When I tasted that, very question of belief, it's an experience. God is God is within each one of us. I'm not any special. That God is in you, in him and in her. I mean, that is the thing. There is no question of what makes you to believe, because it's an experience. Yes, God is joy, and it's possible to contact joy. And at the same time, I did not neglect my studies or duties or responsibilities. I was continuing with all that. I was doing fairly well in my career, studies. But this is there. In addition to that, inner joy meditating, and only my faculties have become sharpened. Concentration is there, enthusiasm is there. When we are working, interest is there. All that is there. I continued with that. Does that answer your question? It's not just hearing and believing. It's experiencing and getting convinced. Yes, God. God has joy. Yeah, such inquiry is very good, and that's what I see. One of the motives, here, that inquire. Yes.
So my question is that is the purpose of life already defined the moment child takes birth, or is it like we have to explore through our life experiences to really identify what the purpose of life is?
The purpose of life is not defined by birth. It has to be defined by you. As we go along, you have to choose. Purpose of life is not predestined. There may be some inclinations. There may be inclinations are there, because from two children in the same family may have different interests. No, the inclinations are there. But we have the option to choose what we want to become in this life, each one of us.
Sir, then you mentioned back then that a quality of being God is to be forgivable. But then, can there be any mistakes that cannot be forgivable?
No. Almost every mistake can be forgiven.
But sir, if there is some person who has hurt you in some way that is going to hurt you for your entire life, like, if you find it hard to forgive, what do you do?
There are two things. It's a very good question, practical question. In life we face this problem, people hurting us. One is not to have ill will towards that person. Not to have ill will. Even the saying goes, hate the sin, not the sinner. The person, for some reason he hurt me. No doubt. I don't allow myself to be hurt again by that person. That is one thing. I don't allow myself to be hurt again by that person or somebody else. I take care of everything. I don't become a doormat again to be hurt again. But at the same time, I don't have ill will towards him. That only way not to have ill will towards him is not to forgive. Unless I forgive and forget, I can't be peaceful. So forgiving is going to help me much more than the person who is forgiven. Because if I don't forgive, I entertain some little bit of ill will, little bit of anger, little bit of resentment, Isn't it true? But when you forgive, it's okay. Maybe because of ignorance he did that. Maybe because of wrong thinking, wrong company he did that. It's worth forgive, not to have any ill will towards him. So if you do it, here it's clear. We are more peaceful. What we give, we are going to get back. I also see it here. If you want something, you give that something. So, you also want to be forgiven. Because now we also make mistakes knowingly, unknowingly. We want to be forgiven. So, we have to forgive. Further interaction? Thank you very much. God bless you all. I would like to keep you up in my prayers. God bless you.
See, I want you all to reflect upon it. We are truly blessed to have Swamiji exchanging his inner feelings. In very short, I met the Shankaracharya of Puri. Just like Apurva asked this question, I happened to meet him, I asked him, and there was a huge crowd. But strangely, from that crowd he picked me up and he said, "You wait." So I waited and he asked me, "Why are you here?" I said, "Shankaracharya, my pranams. I want to know, why did you become a monk?" I asked the same question. He said, "You really want to know?" He said, "I went to Germany to do my engineering. I came back to Coimbatore and I was working as second to managing director. Managing director was a German in a clothes mill over there. He said, those days I used to earn 5,000 rupees and he's now about 83. And that time he was 20. So you can imagine, so close to 60 years back, 5,000 rupees was a lot of money. And he said, one day I came to know a great saint has come to my city, Coimbatore. I went to meet him. When I went there, I found the place was empty because it was an odd time I went. And there was one gentleman in white clothes was sitting. This saint was not living in the palace. He was a very rich gentleman. In the lawn there was a small hut in which he was in a little charpai. He specially got it erected for him. So he went, it said there is saint. He went and he found somebody in a white clothes in front of the saint with his head on the saint's feet and cried. So I politely waited outside. Shankaracharya is telling, I waited outside. And then he found after a while the gentleman in the white clothes realized somebody is outside, so he got up and he came out. He was wiping his face. So I went inside, I did pranam to saint and I asked him, why was he crying? So the saint asked me, why don't you ask him? He was waiting outside. So I called him. He said, I am an industrialist in this city. Almost 25-30% of the city belongs to me. Apparently I have everything. But I don't have what he has. And that's what Swamiji was talking about, that inner joy. He's so peaceful, he's so calm, he's so serene. So Shankaracharya of Puri was telling me, I started thinking, I went to Germany to become an engineer and I came down and I am going to be one of the industrialists. That was my plan. And at that time, if I had to cry like this, why didn't I become a saint straight away? I had to cut down all the shortcuts. So he said, I left everything. Today I want you to understand some of your questions that Swamiji answered so beautifully. See, he's so talented. He had everything. He was working abroad, Canada, USA. And he started to taste this joy. But listen, I want you to understand, you don't have to become, go down to the Himalaya or become a monk. What did Swamiji say? To develop your concentration. Whatever you're doing, do it best. Say, I'm the champion. I'm going to do the best. It doesn't mean you pull down others. You help others to grow, you will grow further. Difference. But you have to taste it. See, if I tell you what does a rasgulla taste like, would you know? If I talk to you about it. If I show you a mango tree, explain to you how many roots, how many types of mangoes, would you know what does a Alfonso mango taste like? You wouldn't know. So you have to taste it. Until and unless you taste it, you wouldn't know Why this monkey Robin was a fighter pilot and he's talking about, Swamiji, please tell them about why me and why not God. Think about it, you reflect on it, and the answer is inside of you. It is there inside. Only thing you have to realize. See, I want you to understand. Is it possible from tomorrow you will not use your eyes? Is it possible you will not use your hands? And you say, I'm keeping it tied up, I will not use it. I will not use my legs. Is it possible? Then why aren't you using that inner consciousness, Chaitanya, what Swamiji is explaining? Reflecting on your point. When somebody does lifelong or longer time, I want you to understand one thing. Whenever you have good thing, but Swamiji said, do I say why does it have to be always? Why does the bad things happen? Swamiji said very beautifully that it happens because we have done something. You may not know about it. It may have been previous to previous. But why are you in this situation? Because the Supreme Consciousness, you may call Allah, God, Jesus, Buddha, whatever name of the Divine Mother, has chosen you to face that. Why? Because you are the only one who can solve that problem. Why do you have a mother like that Swamiji talked about? She is the only one who can make a beautiful girl, boy out of you. You're the only one. Make that child in the classroom, make that friend, make that senior, or your husband or wife perfect. Because you have the power. And in this room right now, there is somebody sitting, and she asked me this question when she was in 8th standard. Today she is in 11th standard. She's sitting here. She came and told me, I don't want to sit in that class. I want to change my class. I said, why? Because so-and-so says such thing I cannot tolerate. I said, okay. But tell me, why does it have to happen to you? I can easily change it. She said, I don't know, you change my class. I said, it is you're the only one who can handle that and make that child beautiful, and you will also become beautiful. I found about 2 years later that these two children are the best of the friends. They asked the first person, how are you now? I was told, she's my best friend. I said, how did it happen? She said, I don't know. I said, you did it. That person is here right now. You take on that way. And you know that every answer to every problem resides inside of you, not out there. We have Brahmacharya Adyanandji. He is managing so many schools, and most importantly, Guruji's dream school in Ranchi. I request him to speak a few words and blessings to you. So.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. I was thinking after all what Swamiji has shared and you have shared, there's not much for me to say, nothing else actually left. So I'll just, in 2 minutes, I'll just build up on what Swamiji said and you said, maybe a couple of stories. I'll start with what you ended with. There's one person who was just walking around an ocean, and near that ocean there was some hills, and in the hills there was one cave. And he started, out of curiosity, he started going in the cave and kept on walking in, and he could see all beautiful lighting coming through the top of the hill. There were some holes there, so very nice, and he just started enjoying it. So after 10-15 minutes he came across a place which was lighted by the sunlight, and there were few mud balls lying there. So he was just wondering who has left them here, and who, maybe somebody, some child has left them there, he's just drying them, or what is he doing. So he just roamed about, came back again, he saw, so he just, out of curiosity, he just picked all these mud balls, there were around 50 of them, and he brought to the ocean shore. So then he had nothing much to do, just out of fun, he would take out one mud ball which was hardened and would take it and throw it in the ocean and just enjoy, that ruffle because of that. So 2, 3, 4, 5 and kept on doing that. So after some time, one mud ball he had and somehow accidentally he dropped it, and where it dropped, rather than sand, there was a very small stone there, and the mud ball broke open. So to his surprise, the mud ball had a diamond in it, a big diamond. And then when he saw that, he almost was about to cry, what have I done? I've thrown all these balls in the ocean, last 10, 15 balls, and he had probably another 20 or so left. Then he started opening one after the other, and everything had, one gem better than the other, and he could, earn so much with them. So now he just kept on wondering, why did I throw rest of them in the ocean? So the point is, there are two kind of so-called morals in this. One is what Dr. Ghosh explained, that we find people in our lives which could seem, they have this negative qualities, they have this negative quality, they are not good in this, not good in this. But if we have understanding, if we give understanding, and if we have understanding, we can find that gem in the person, and we might find, best of the friends for life. And second aspect is about our time. Our time is also like that mud ball. We keep it so precious after some time, but this is our best of times. Like, you have the best of potentiality in you. You can reach anywhere, you can do anything in your life. But the time that goes, it is like that gem, which if we utilize properly. So the point is to plan your life, plan your goal in life, what you want to do, how you want to achieve it, and then everything has its own place. Be it enjoying with friends, going to a movie, anything. So just plan your time. The time is precious, and it can give us anything that we want in life. Just to this effect, there is another story, and after that I'll just finish. I think some of you must have heard this story. There was one carpenter. He was working in the US, and he was working in a company which would make these wooden houses, and he would, the owner, he would sell these houses for the best of the prices, and this carpenter was one of the best carpenters. So his hand had such genius that everything that he did was basically as if auction. More people were ready to pay much more than what it was worth. So many years he was working, and then at the end of his life, he thought, I've earned